this project is a good example of a neighborhood organization going from reactive to proactive. This property here was a problem for the neighbors for quite a few years, and part of it was tearing down the property, clearing off the land, but the next part is building the new housing, and it's going to be permanently affordable housing with the land trust. But really, trying to strengthen the neighborhood to deal with the crime issue, but also to think about the future and think about how we, protect this neighborhood and its character.
The Borales community came to the city council and said, "We've got to do something about this derelict apartment building that existed here on the site." And so we started looking into how could we do that. One thing that the community wanted was for it to be affordable, whatever the housing is that replaced it, because the apartments were for lower income folks who were living here, but they were very dangerous and a nuisance to the neighborhood. So through the city, we hooked them up with the Sawmill Community Land Trust, who is the sponsor of the new project, and they were the ones who worked with the city to get the building torn down. And we're going to put 4 new houses that will be permanently affordable here on the site.
Beyond the bricks and mortar construction, Sawmill Community Land Trust has been responsible for bringing to life the community's vision for itself, building a neighborhood designed to respect cultural traditions and values, protecting environmental integrity, and providing opportunities for prosperity for future generations. The Sawmill Community Land Trust is a development corporation established in 1994, whose main purpose is to promote community ownership, long-term affordability, and economic opportunity, all through the Community Land Trust model.
Give yourselves a hand for the beginning of, I think, what is going to be a great project for our neighborhood. I'm a resident, as many of you know. I'm a native Guadaleño. I live on the other side of 8th Street, which I don't know if that's the good side or the bad side, but that's the other side of 8th Street. And I'm also, as you all know, active over at Sacred Heart, which is one of the schools I attended. This project has been a long time in coming. It's just one of many, many projects that the Community Coalition, the Borales Neighborhood Association, have been working on, and now with this great partnership with the Sawmill, which, if you don't know much about Sawmill, they've been doing incredible work, community-based work over in the Old Town area, really turning that community around. And this started a long time ago with the help of City Councilwoman Debbie O'Malley, who's been a big force in just all the redevelopment that's been happening in these old historic communities. So I want to recognize her as well. She's been a huge force here. And so anyway, this is the beginning of what we hope will be a lot of other projects. We have a big project over at the rail yard site that a lot of folks are really trying to work on, have been working on for a long time. And but this is what it's all about. It's about neighbors doing this. It's about people who live in the community empowering themselves. It's not about even the elected officials doing the work. It's about the community raising itself up.
Sawmill Community Land Trust. Debbie O'Malley and I met, I guess, 20 years ago, working at the beginning of that project. That's been a huge success and a great example of how we can build permanently affordable housing. When you look at the way that the housing market has gone, so many people have been priced out. But what the land trust model does is keep it permanently affordable for people who need it. And sorry that this has taken so long. Sometimes it's a struggle to get something like this demolished, a very dangerous place for the community. We've gotten rid of it. The next step is to get the funding to get the 4 new houses here. And we're looking forward to seeing that. And those houses will be designed in a way that is totally sympathetic to the tradition and traditional housing in Borales. So.
Example of how regular people, your neighbors, yourself, can make a difference in your community. Before I was a city councilor, I was really starting to get fed up. I'm from Sawmill, the area that's also by Old Town, La Ruca, as they used to call it. My dad used to call it that. That's my family's from that area. They still do, okay. But at the time, we didn't have any drains. We didn't have stop signs. We didn't have simple things like that, and we worked together to get those things done. Those were the first things we got done. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Sawmill area. That's that old Duke City lumber. It was a big, big lumber yard. and the industry moved out, and we were left with this big lumber yard, and it was contaminated. So we worked to get it cleaned up, and we worked with the city to buy it, and now it's a beautiful place. If you're not familiar with it, it's right behind the museums. All this housing is going up, and it's all affordable housing, you know. So this is something I worked on with my neighbors, and it took many years, but hey, it happened, and that's what happens when you work together and you stick together, and you can make change in your neighborhood. So I really, you know, I want to say thank you all. Connie's a good friend of mine, and she's also the director of the Land Trust, and so they're continuing to build housing. They're building some senior housing over there. Sawmill Land Trust is a partner you can trust in this community, and I want you to really, I believe me when I say that, because I know Bud Ellis has had a really rough history. You've had people that have come and gone in the community, people who promised things and left, and sometimes they left a bigger mess than when they came when it was you know, before the changes happened. So this is a great partner to have. I'm really looking forward to this project. You can believe it's going to be high quality and really beautiful.